Live from Lamoille Field on the campus of Post University here in Waterbury, Connecticut, NCAA Division II Women's Lacrosse as a CACC conference battle takes place today between your Post University Eagles and the visitors from Chestnut Hill, the Griffins, who made about the 3-hour journey north from Philadelphia. A pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Jeff Nelson here with you up in the broadcast center here at Lamoille Field. Senior day for the Post University Eagles as they are excited and proud to send off 10 senior players. We'll get into all of that as the game moves along. We'll celebrate those 10 senior players and we get ready for this exciting conference game this afternoon. The Eagles 2-6 on the season, but still alive for the 6th seed in the CACC conference playoffs. A win today will go a long way into getting them in competition for that 6th seed. It's really a 5-way battle for that 6th slot, where Chestnut Hill is currently in that 6th position. Top 6 teams make the CACC playoffs, which will start on April 28th. But still work to do. Eagles need to win today, then play well at number 1 Dominican, who is undefeated in conference on Tuesday, and then follow up with their home finale against Jefferson a week from today. Eagles struggling a bit, but coming off a disappointing loss to Wilmington on the 11th of April. That was last Saturday, 25-5. They also fell 16-7 to Bridgeport on the 7th of April. Their last win coming against Felician, 14-6. Already an improvement for the Eagles as they come off a winless season a year ago, but are now 2-6. Chestnut Hill 6-6 overall, but 2-5 in conference. Eagles 1-5 in conference again. So if the Eagles can win today, they can really make their move in and up toward the 6th seed. Again, we'll get into all the seniors as we move along, but right now we'll bring you the starting lineups brought to you by Post University. It's the application season, so get your application in today. For more information, visit campus or apply. Go to post.edu. That's post.edu. For Chestnut Hill, we'll go by numbers, just straight on down the list. Molly Miller wears number 3. She's a freshman for Chestnut Hill. 5'1" out of Wilmington, Delaware. Maddie Brazukas, freshman midfielder, 5'9" out of Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. Deanna Otero, senior defender, 5'3" out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ahibola Adesipo, 6'5" junior defender out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Elizabeth Deal, graduate student, 5'11" defenseman out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Riley Geary, a freshman attacker, 5'4" out of Havertown, Pennsylvania. Bryce Westerwelt, a freshman attacker, 5'4" out of Hill, New Jersey. Kendall Gayton, a sophomore defenseman, 5'4" out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Allie Kamolda, number 21, is a freshman defender, 5'4" out of Hayden Township, New Jersey. Nicole George is a junior attacker out of South Brunswick, New Jersey. She's 5'2". Samantha Martin, the team's leading goal scorer on the season with 24, is the freshman midfielder, 5'5", out of Hayden Township, New Jersey. And in goal, number 26, Mel Amador, a graduate, 5'6", out of Cape May, New Jersey. Will now pause for the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem here this afternoon at Lamoille Field for the battle in the CACC Conference Women's Lacrosse as the Eagles take on the Griffins from Chestnut Hill. The starting lineups for the Eagles: number 1, Tamari Garam, senior, 5'4" out of Livonia, Michigan. Maddie Noonan, senior attacker, 5'4", out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Anna D'Angelo, senior midfield, 5'5", out of Warwick, Rhode Island. Claire Green, senior, 5'6", out of Storrs, Connecticut. Peyton Tully, freshman midfielder, 5'7", out of Toledo, Ohio. Alyssa Hebb, graduate student, midfielder, 5'10", out of Waterbury, Connecticut. Paige Piper, senior defenseman, 5'5", out of Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. Hannah Marriott, defenseman, 5'5", out of Scotland. Nikki Johnson, senior goalkeeper, 5'7", out of Enoch, Utah. Riley Patfield, senior attacker, 5'9", out of Cortis, Ontario. And Dakota Jez, senior defenseman, 5'3", out of Cortland Manor, New York. Head coach is Shelby Page in Season 2. She is 2-15. Her assistants are Katie Mills and Laura Morton. Eagles 0-10 last year, 2-6 this year. They've come a long way from a year ago. It doesn't seem like much, but little steps will get this program where they need to be as they move along. As we get ready to start this afternoon's game, Chestnut Hill in the red and yellow, going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. The Eagles in the home grays will go left to right as you look at your screen and dial. We get ready for the face-off again. Chestnut Hill 6-6 overall, 2-5 in conference. The Eagles 2-5 overall, 1-5 in conference. But the battle for the 6th seed is on in the CACC, and it starts this afternoon here at Post University. Maddie Noonan comes in up on the right wing. She'll stop below the goal line and wait. Still has the ball. Nobody is following her around. She'll give off to Paige Piper. Piper switches spots. Feeds a pass to D'Angelo. D'Angelo goes behind the net. 90-second shot clock in women's lacrosse, so the Eagles have plenty of time. Centering pass in front of the shot taken by Noonan. Stopped by the goaltender for Chestnut Hill. That is Mel Amador. And the goaltending matchup, Mel Amador has started all 12 games for the Griffins this season. She has an 11.67 goals against average and a .440 save percentage. She's 4-4 on the season. Ball gets to midfield, passed to Samantha Martin, the leading goal scorer for Chestnut Hill. Again, 24 goals, 5 assists on the season for Martin. Far and away the leading goal scorer on this Griffin team. We'll get to the Eagles goaltender in a moment. Ball behind the net. Passed to Gayton. Gayton has it about 20 yards out from the goal. Swings it to the far right side to Miller. Miller down behind the net where they pass it around. Right now in the hands number 15, Riley Gary. Gary goes back to the far side, back up to front to Miller. Miller on right wing, tries to find a player in the middle. She did, but it bounced off the stick of 23, Samantha Martin, and the Eagles take control. Ball passed up, has an opportunity for a break if they can get it up to Piper. Piper has the ball. She gets it chopped out of her hand, and I believe there will be a foul on the play, which will give the Eagles the ball and an opportunity. Shot stopped right on by Amador. And we'll confirm the goaltender in just a moment. I think it's Nikki Johnson, but ball brought up by Chestnut Hill. Long pass a little bit too far for number 22, Nicole George. And the Eagles pick it up behind the net and will bring it out. Far side of the field, stick checked a couple of times as the Eagle defender. She tries to get it out from trouble, and she does with a nice long run. Solid run of about 35 yards for that Eagle defender. Long pass up ahead. Brought in over number 5, Maddie Noonan. Noonan puts the ball in the middle of the field. Nice play by D'Angelo. D'Angelo with a spinning move gets close to the goal. She shoots. Stopped right on by Amador. And Noonan picks it up behind the net. Still in play. Noonan goes behind the net. Gives it to D'Angelo. D'Angelo goes to the far left side now. Eagles reversing position. Brings it out into the middle of the field, does Piper. Piper looks for a shot, but has a stick checked off her stick. And racing to pick it up, the Eagles trying to find it, is Peyton Tully. And referee blows her whistle. Tully. She has it behind the net now, being watched by the defense of Otero. Tully spins away from Otero, tries to bring it out in front, looking for a shot with a stick, gets in the middle, takes the shot, and it goes in. It's a goal as it bounced by Amador, and the Eagles take an early 1-0 lead on a Tully goal to make it 1-0. 11:08 remaining in quarter number 1, and the Eagles get an early goal to take a 1-0 lead.
And for the first point of the match, goal by number 15, Peyton Tully.
1-0 Eagle lead, face-off back at center. Whistle blows, ball pops up into the air. Eagles trying to gain possessions on their half of the field. It swiped out the stick of Karis Call. Eagles get the ball, and now Call has it. Spins away with a pass. Kale feeds it down. Eagles have it far left corner now. First quarter, Eagles lead 1-0 on a Peyton Tully goal. Brought in, shot toward the goal, taken on a diving play by Riley Patfield, and that ball bounces wide. So for Tully, as she gets the goal, Peyton Tully scores goal number 16 on the season. She's second on the team in goals. Eagles with much of the possession early on. Halfway through the shot clock, 40 seconds remain. Eagles still with the ball, driving toward the goal with a shot that goes wide as the ball bounced wide off Alyssa Head's shot toward the net. No save. A shot goes wide. Eagles playing good defense, trying to get to the puck, but that'll be a foul against the Eagles and should be a Chestnut Hill ball. Yellow card given as well, so that's Riley Patfield gets illegal contact, and the Chestnut Hill player is down. So we await. So a 2-minute penalty on Riley Patfield, the senior out of Cordis, Ontario. Patfield on the season has committed only one foul. I'll now give her 2. And Chestnut Hill will go to the power play once their injured player is able to get back up. Can't see the number from here, so not sure. Chestnut Hill coming off a loss to Georgian Court 12-5 on the 15th. Their last win was last Saturday at Caldwell, 14-8 in what was their home finale. Senior day for the Eagles. Let's go over the 10 seniors while we have a moment. Timmery Grom, number 1. Second season with the program. She played 14 games while making 12 starts in that span. She's accumulated 3 assists and 3 points, as well as 20 ground balls, 25 turnovers, and 6 draw controls. She caused a career-high 5 turnovers against Bridgeport earlier this year. So congratulations to her. Senior number 2, Maddie Noonan, who wears number 5. Joined the program last season. She started 6 games while playing 7 overall. She scored her first collegiate goal against Georgian Court at home. She's tallied 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points to go along with 6 ground balls and 3 caused turnovers. She is from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Number 13 is Anna D'Angelo. She is a 4-year member of the program. She's played in 45 games, made 20 starts. She's recorded 26 goals, 7 assists for 33 points, has 42 ground balls, 25 caused turnovers, and 44 draw controls. She's from Warwick, Rhode Island, and one of the Eagle captains. Claire Green, transferred into the program from Rhode Island College last season. She's made an immediate impact. She is the team's leading scorer this year with 24 goals and 2 assists. She's got 26 points, had 17 ground balls, 8 caused turnovers, 22 draw controls, and has been named CACC Player of the Week once, as well as on the honor roll. She is from Storrs, Connecticut, and one of the captains as well. Alyssa Hebb, the 5th senior, has started and played in all 17 games across her 2-year career. She's picked up 15 goals, 3 assists for 18 points, as well as 31 ground balls, 15 turnovers, and 21 draw control. She had the game-winning goal against Felician earlier this year, and she is from Waterbury, Connecticut. Paige Piper, the 6th senior. She's a 4-year player, has 11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points. Primarily as a defender, she has totaled 50 ground balls, 36 caused turnovers, 15 draw controls in her 46-game career. She's originally from Orangeville, Ontario. Hannah Marriott joined the program this season in a dual role as goalie and defender. She's seen appearances in both capacities. She has 1 relief appearance in net. It's made 3 saves against Caldwell, and she's appeared in 5 games and 1 start as a defender. She's originally from Scotland, and that is defender Hannah Marriott. Nikki Johnson's our 8th senior. She's taken on a dual role as well, both as a goalie and an offensive player in her time at post. She's appeared in 23 games, had 3 assists, 20 ground balls, 6 turnovers. She picked up her first collegiate win against Felician and had 36 saves and 8 goalie appearances. She's from Enoch, Utah. Looks like Chestnut Hill's player able to get off under her own power. And just verify the number there. Looks like that is number 6, Maddie Brazukas, the freshman out of Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. Number 6, so good to see her up on her own feet after being fouled. Chestnut Hill will have a power play. Wrapping up the 2 remaining seniors, Riley Patfield, number 21, joined the program last season, played all 15 games, made 12 starts, had 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 total points. Defensively, she's had 7 ground balls, 5 caused turnovers, and a draw control. She's from Cordis, Ontario, currently has a 2-minute penalty as well. And Dakota Jez, the final senior, closing out her 4-year career. She's played 44 games on the defensive side of the ball. She's picked up 39 ground balls, 18 turnovers, 1 draw control. She is from Cortland Manor, New York, and she is defender Dakota Jez. We thank all of the Post Eagle players for their time. The Eagles have turned over Chestnut Hill while shorthanded, and they have a break towards the goal. Running down on the right side, veering toward the goal and spinning back. It's Dakota Jez. That is Anna D'Angelo, rather. D'Angelo goes across, and the Eagles will just kill some time. They have 70 seconds on the play clock and 1:25 on the power play that Chestnut Hill has. Alyssa Hebb swings it to the left side. Piper. That's Paige Piper. Spinning away from an oncoming stick check in the middle of the field. Avoids an attempted check by Elizabeth Deal. She'll swing it to the left side. Ball on the ground. Looks like there'll be a foul against Chestnut Hill. Not a penalty, but a foul. Maybe there will be. They're going to send her off. So penalty against Chestnut Hill. That'll even it all up. That penalty goes to number 3, Molly Miller. So even Steven for the next minute or so. And Eagles a full shot clock to determine what they want to do. Here's Tully, the goal scorer. Tully toward the net. She scores again. Peyton Tully with a fabulous move. She spun around one player, ran on the left side, and beat goaltender Amador for her 2nd of the game, 17th of the season. With both teams down a player, and the Eagles now have a 2-0 lead early. Again, we talked about it in the open. Eagles need a win. Top 6 teams make the CACC playoffs. Eagles are in a 5-team battle for that final spot. We got Chestnut Hill holds. While 3 teams have clinched, 2 teams are all of but clinched. And the Eagles with a win today can put themselves into position to be that 6th seed with 2 games to go. So Peyton Tully, her 2nd goal of the game, 17th of the season, gave the Eagles a 2-0 lead. Timeout on the field. We'll come back in 40 seconds or so with Post University Women's Hockey score 2-0 Post. We'll be back in 40 seconds. You're listening and watching the Post University Women's Lacrosse on the Post University Sports Network. 2-0 Eagles on goals by Peyton Tully. Her 16th and 17th of the season. Eagles now shorthanded as they scored with both teams a player down. Face-off popped up in the air. Eagles control again. They can get control. They can pretty much kill the Chestnut Hill power play, which has 45 seconds remaining on. The Eagles do get the ball. It's Karis Kell. Ball squirts over here to Claire Green. Green up on the right wing, feeds a pass in the middle of the field nicely to D'Angelo. D'Angelo with some space, trying to find a hole, looking for a pass. Instead, she loses the ball, and Chestnut Hill has an opportunity to get away with it. Miller tries to spin away from the check of the Eagles, pushes her out of bounds. Looks like there might be an additional penalty here. Looks like a 1-minute penalty on number 15, Peyton Tully. So the Eagles down 2 players, one for 22 seconds and one for a minute. Chestnut Hill will have the ball on the whistle. Waiting for the ref to blow the whistle. Start play here. Chestnut Hill with the ball. 2 players up. And here's Miller. Miller comes to the left side. Runs ahead, gets to midfield. 2 players up is Chestnut Hill. She gets taken down and fell down. Let's see if there's another penalty here. Another 1-minute penalty. And so the Eagles is dropping players like flies right now. They have 3 players on the bench. And the Eagles are shorthanded 3 separate players. Miller at midfield. 11 seconds for the first player to come back. Here's Miller. Miller up the middle, veers to the right. Throws her pass over up on the right side. Here comes player number 1 back, and that is Jasmine Valentin. Ball behind the net. Still 2 players up as Chestnut Hill. They don't seem in a hurry to get the ball to a player. The ball's rolling, and the Eagles will get possession of it. And another Eagles penalty. And now they are shorthanded. 3 players again. It's Alyssa Hebb. Eagles shorthanded 3 players. Still 2-0 Eagles. 36 seconds on the first penalty to Karis Kell. Chestnut Hill with the ball. It's Miller. They swing it around. Kale's the first one to come out in 20 seconds. Balls tried to center in front. Good block by the Eagles and picked up by goaltender Nikki Johnson, whose stats we did not give you. Johnson is 15.67 goals against average. She's 1-2 on the season with a .329 save percentage. Johnson has the ball being stick checked, spins away with it. Still has it. She's behind it. Finally throws a long, dangerous pass in the middle. Almost picked off by Geary. Geary gives it in the middle, looks for Westervelt. Gives it down to Gayton. Gayton goes behind. Ball in front with a shot toward the net. Stopped right on by Johnson. A beautiful save on the shot in front by Samantha Martin. And finally, one of the Eagle players come out. Now a second Eagle player comes out. And finally, the Eagles back to full strength in what seemed like a 5-minute run of being shorthanded. And they still have a 2-0 lead with 6:30 to go in the first quarter. Here's Martin. Samantha Martin up on left wing. Spins away, goes back to the tall stick of Gayton. Gayton swings it over to Westervelt. Over to Miller. Miller down behind the net on the far side. Swing it behind the goal to Geary. Geary comes out over here to Martin. Martin, as they set up the pentagon, 35 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Finally some movement. Here's Miller. Miller towards the goal. She ran from the right side behind, leaves it for a player, comes out the other side. Not goaltender Johnson, not sure where the ball is, but picked it up. Back to Gayton. Gayton about 20 yards out, spins off the check, takes a pass behind the net with 18 seconds. Gayton receives the ball back, watched by Eagles Hebb. Ball in front, shot, and a goal. It goes into the net on the shot by Carly O'Donnell. 5'7" attacker out of Levittown, Pennsylvania, and Chestnut Hill cuts the lead in half with 5:45 remaining. On the goal by number 1, Carly O'Donnell. That's her 5th goal of the season, and it's 2-1. Eagles just unable to get control of the ball despite having 3 players down. They killed off all the power plays, but were unable to get control after that. We're scrambling a bit, and finally the Griffins able to get a goal in, and it's 2-1 Eagles with 5:45 remaining in the first quarter. Face-off in the middle between Westervelt and Heb. Chestnut Hill gets the ball off the face-off. It's Hannah Marriott. Marriott, long pass. That was Kendall Gayton. My apologies. Gayton gets it down on the far right side to Geary. Geary looking to swing it back to Miller. She does. Miller, about 25 yards out, goes back to Gayton. Gayton comes over here to Martin. Martin behind, and they swing it around. George to Geary, back to George, over here for Martin. 55 seconds on the shot clock. 2-1 Eagles, 5 minutes to go, first quarter. Miller runs behind the goal. They come out the near side now, trying to spin with a shot. Instead goes back to Gayton. Gayton still holding, being defended. Swings to the right, tries to get a shot off. Good stick defense by the Eagles. Forces a pass behind the goal with 35 on the shot clock. Here's Martin on a bad angle. Martin looking to get a better angle. Cuts in the middle, shoots and scores. Samantha Martin had no angle, made a better angle, and took a shot and got it by the stick of Nikki Johnson. And the game is tied at 2. Martin's 25th goal of the year. She is the team's leading scorer. And now each team has scored 2 consecutive goals, and the game is tied at 2. Face off in the middle again between Heb and Westervelt. 2-2 the score, 4:44 to go in quarter number 1. Senior day for the Eagles, big game as well. They want to get themselves back into the playoff hunt for that 6th seed. A loss would all but end those hopes. Ball pops up in the air. Eagles trying to gain control, and a nice play to gain control was Karis Kale. Kale with the ball up on right wing, swings it back into the middle. Nice play to catch it is Heb. Heb with time and space running toward the goal. Veers to the left and spins back, and will start over with 75 on the shot clock. Heb will gladly hold it about 25 yards out, gives it in the middle to Tully, who's got the 2 Eagle goals in the game. Tully on the far side, runs behind the net, comes out the near side looking for an angle, takes a low shot toward the net, and a nice save, unexpected save by goaltender Amador, who was paying attention, and a nice low shot, but a good save by Amador, and Chestnut Hill has the ball. Gayton on the defensive end of the field, gives to Elizabeth Deal. Deal tries to find her own teammate. It's Westervelt. Now they give it up ahead on right wing, but the ball is off the stick and rolling on the ground, able to pick it up and make a pass ahead. Looking for Geary is Chestnut Hill in the middle of Miller. Miller walks in with a big save as Johnson, as Miller took a shot from about 10 yards out. And Miller with a big save, but Chestnut Hill retains possession behind the goal. Geary gives to Miller. Miller cycles it over here to Adesipo. Flag goes up. Gayton to Miller. And looks like a penalty shot on the play as Miller's going to take it. Miller toward the goal, shoots it wide, but Chestnut Hill will retain possession, so the Eagles get a break there on the penalty shot with 2:45 to go in the first quarter, still 2-1. Gayton swings it to Miller. Miller Goes behind to Geary on the near side. Tries to give it in front. She does with the shots, and it stopped right on as Gayton had an opportunity right in front of the crease area, and another stop by Johnson, who's had a good game so far. 2-2. Eagles trying to get control at midfield. They're trying to now get it in the defensive end. It's slapped at, stick checked. Ball comes free as they're chopping at Peyton Tully. Flag on the play, whistle rather. I believe the Eagles will maintain possession here. And they do, so Tully will have it on the far side of the field with 2:17 to go in the first quarter. 2-2, each team scoring 2 consecutive goals. And it actually looks like it's an Eagle turnover. So a delay of game call against Peyton Tully with 2:17 to go in the first quarter. The Eagles will be shorthanded again. They are 3 for 3 on the kill so far. It's just a 1-minute penalty on Tully, but Chestnut Hill will have the ball. Westervelt. Westervelt swings it behind the goal. Nice play with the big long stick back there by Gayton. Swings around. Eagles will get possession, and they do. Good job by the Eagles on the bad pass to get possession. And it's Anna D'Angelo swinging back to Johnson. Johnson, long ball deep into the middle of the field, goes over the initial stick. Now the Eagles are going to chase after it. Chasing after it is Jasmine Valentin. Valentin trying to get there. She swipes at it, can't pick it up. Chestnut Hill tries to grab it. It's still rolling on the ground and finally picked up by Deanna Otero, the senior out of Philadelphia. Bad pass again. Good job by the Eagles to regain possession one more time. Still trying to gain possession. Chasing after is Paige Piper. She turned it back over to Otero, but now 10 seconds remain on the power play for Chestnut Hill. Here's Deal in midfield. Swings it on right wing. Back in the middle of the field, O'Donnell, one of the goal scorers. Power play over. We're back to full strength. Looking down low in front of the goal with a nice pass and a shot, and a goal. They score. That was Nicole George, who was wide open down at the bottom, as coming off out of the penalty box was Tully. Wasn't able to get back into play. That led to a wide open Nicole George. With 1:09 remaining, Chestnut Hill takes a 3-2 lead for George. For George, that is goal number 4 on the season. And the Griffins have a 3-2 lead after the Eagles started off so promising with a 2-0 lead of their own. 1:09 remain in quarter number 1. 3-2 Chestnut Hill. They scored 3 consecutive goals now. Goals by O'Donnell, Martin, and George. None on the power play. Eagles 4 for 4 killing off penalties in this game, but now trail 3-2. And a foul against the Eagles again, so Chestnut Hill will take the ball. No penalty on this one, just a foul. 1 minute to go in quarter number 1. Here's Chestnut Hill. Pushing the ball ahead, finds Westervelt. Westervelt gives it down on the right side. And now back behind the goal to Nicole George, the most recent goal scorer. Swings it back to Miller. Miller can't control the ball. It bounces away. Let's see who the ball goes to. Looks like they're going to give it to the Eagles with 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Eagles trying to get the ball quickly. And it looks like there's going to be a delay of game penalty on Otero this time, so the Eagles will have a man advantage. One player up as Otero gets delay of game with 34.5 to go in quarter number 1. Eagles trailing 3-2, trying to get back in this game. 25 remaining on the power play. Whistle blows. Got a reset on the shot clock is what that FAR official's saying. Don't know what they're... Shot clock reset. Now the Eagles have the ball again, and here is Heb. Heb weaves through 3 defenders. She's still moving. Gets over on left side. Only 15 remaining in the quarter, so the Eagles do need to hurry if they want the ball for the quarter, or they're going to hold it as the second quarter starts. 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 33 remaining on the power play. 5 in the quarter. 3 in the quarter. 2. Tully will hold it. That's the end of quarter number 1 here at Lemoy Field on the campus of Post University. Big game for the Eagles as they try to get to the 6th seed. Need a win to do it. Currently trailing Chestnut Hill 3-2. We'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. You're listening and watching the Post University Women's Lacrosse on Senior Day here on the Post University Sports Network and youtube.com/go Post Eagles. Start of the second quarter here at Lemoy Field on the campus of Post University. Chestnut Hill leads 3-2. They scored 3 consecutive goals after the Eagles took a 2-0 lead on 2 Peyton Tully goals, their 16th and 17th of the season. Scores around the CACC this afternoon. Dominican defeated Holy Family 20-0. Down in Philadelphia, Georgian Court beat Caldwell 16-2. Wilmington leads Felician in the third quarter 16-0. And no update from Bridgeport and Jefferson right now. Again, the Eagles in a battle for the 6th seed. Chestnut Hill is 2-5 in conference. Holy Family 2-5 with the loss today. Caldwell 2-5 with their loss today. Felician on their way to 0-7. So Chestnut Hill, Holy Family, Caldwell, and Post all battling for that number 6 seed in an opportunity in the CACC playoffs. Eagles will play on Tuesday at Dominican and wrap up the regular season here at home on Saturday against Jefferson. 26 seconds remain on the power play for the Eagles. Deanna Otero in the box. Teams have switched sides. Eagles in the gray going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Chestnut Hill in the red and yellow going left to right. Eagles will have the ball to start. And breaking down the middle of the field with a shot and a big, I think that might have hit the post actually. Eagles retain control as that shot was taken by Peyton Tully. 13 seconds remain on the man advantage. 50 seconds on the shot clock. Breaking toward the goal is D'Angelo. D'Angelo spins it back to Piper. Piper goes into the middle of the field to 14, Claire Green. Green spins to the right, has a bit of a hole, spins now left. Nicely done. Shot toward the goal, and she scores. Not a power play goal as back on the field had come Otero, but a goal nonetheless on a nice left-hand spinorama move by number 14, Claire Green, the team's leading scorer, her 25th of the season. 30 seconds into the second quarter, and the Eagles have tied this game up 3-3 on a very nice move. Still technically a player up because Otero hadn't got back into the play, but not a power play goal, and the Eagles have tied it at 3. Hebb and Westervelt in the middle of the field for the faceoff 30 seconds into the second quarter. Ball up in the air, chasing after it is Green. Green trying to get it before it goes out of bounds. Trying to get in position for it before it goes out of bounds. Let's see who they give the ball to. It's going to be Eagle ball. Green will take it and give it in the middle of the field to the racing Noonan. Noonan with space. Keeps going. Still has space, but then she'll stop and veer it back to Alyssa Hebb. Hebb in the middle of the field. Gives it to D'Angelo. D'Angelo veers onto the right wing side. Heading towards the behind the net area. She'll stop in the far right corner. She'll hold it. 60 on the shot clock. Now she'll spin toward the goal looking for an opening. Had one briefly, but good defense by Chestnut Hill. She'll give the ball up. Gives it to Piper. Piper spins away. Long shot. Shoots and scores! That's a beautiful shot by Peyton Tully, who records a hat trick early in the game. 13:39 to go. Her third goal of the game. That is 18 on the season for Peyton Tully. And the Eagles have taken a 4-3 lead early in the second quarter. This is just what the Eagles did to start the game, 2 quick goals. But Chestnut Hill fought back, and now it's 4-3 Eagles here in the second quarter on a beautiful setup there and a 3-goal game for Peyton Tully, who now has 18 on the season. She has, officially, she's got 3. She's now tied for the team lead in points with Claire Green at 27 on the season. Face off again, this time pushed forward. Eagles try to get the ball, but Chestnut Hill does a good job of control it. Samantha Martin, their leading goal scorer, being watched and checked by Alyssa Hebb. Big size difference as well. Hebb 5'10", Martin 5'5". Martin still with it, gives it over here on the right side to Westervelt. Westervelt has some space, but instead passes it down low to Geary. Geary goes behind the goal where they'll set up. 65 seconds remaining on the shot clock. She'll swing it over to the far side, back to Martin in the middle. Martin comes over here for Miller. Miller trying to get closer, instead goes behind the goal. Finds, looks like that's number 11, Washington Vasquez. Miller with the ball, leaves it behind the goal. Looking to center in front is Geary, trying to find a stick. She didn't find the stick, but a little bit further back. Coming in with it is Gayton. Gayton looking for a shot, takes it. I believe that got the post, more so than a save by Johnson, but either way outside the goal, and Chestnut Hill retains control with 60 seconds on the shot clock. Martin over to Miller. Miller about 25 yards out, comes in the right side, fakes her shot. Instead goes behind the goal. Ball swung around to Washington Vasquez. Now in the middle, Geary. Sorry, that's Gayton. Apologies. Gayton comes in, fakes her shot. Flag goes up. Might be another penalty shot opportunity here. I think it might be. And it will be for Gayton. 0 for 1 in the game on this. 12 minutes to go in the first half. 4-3 Eagles. As soon as she moves, the Eagles get to chase after her, but she gets a second. Here's Gayton closing in. Good defensive stick there by number 6, Amundsen. Ball bouncing on the ground. Eagles trying to find it. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and a good job by the Eagles to pick it up. Now with some time and space running ahead is Maddie Noonan. Noonan still going. Long pass ahead, trying for the stick of Piper. It bounced off her stick and into the goal of Amador. Amador swings it ahead to Miller. Eagles had a break opportunity, but a good job by Chestnut Hill to get back. And then turnover right in the middle of the field taken by Claire Green. Green feeds it up on the right side, trying to pick it up is Tully. Tully, who's got 3 in the game, holds, waits, gives it in the middle of the field, tries to spin with it, is Green, but it's chopped off her stick, and let's see who the foul is on. That should be on Chestnut Hill and give the Eagles an opportunity. No flag up for a penalty shot, but it might be a foul in ball possession with 11 minutes even to go in the first half. Green with the ball. It is going to be a penalty, so Claire Green with an opportunity, the leading scorer for the Eagles, with the ball on a penalty shot. Green walks in, rips a shot, scores! Green just ripped it. She didn't run in like the other penalty shots for Chestnut Hill. She just took a step and ripped it. And at 10:43, the Eagles take a 5-3 lead. 26th goal of the season now, and 3 consecutive for the Eagles. As Claire Green's 26th of the season, she regains the team lead in points. She's at the 28 points. And the Eagles have a 5-3 lead as they've scored all 3 goals here in the second quarter and have taken a 3-2 deficit to a 5-3 lead, and now face off at midfield with 10:43 remaining. Looks like Maddie Brazukas in on the face-off now for Chestnut Hill, taking on Alyssa Hebb. Ball popped up in the air. Hebb trying to get it. Hebb had it bounce off her stick. Eagles trying to pick it up. It's still on the ground. Swing away and out of bounds. That should be Eagle ball, and it is. Karis Kale comes up with it now. Kale picks it up. Runs away from defender number 1. That would be Bryce Westervelt. Eagles pass it up ahead nicely. get it on the stick of Valentin. Valentin spins away from the check, but still being watched nicely by Martin. Eagles trying to find the middle of the field. Ball bounces away, but good pickup from behind the goal. Tries to give it out in front to Heb. Heb, one fake, two fakes, holds. Heb still has it, middle of the field, 55 seconds on the shot clock, 5-3 Eagles. Heb, down low, looking for a spinorama backhand type of shot, and then was chopped off the stick. That might be a foul on Chestnut Hill. I think that's going to be an Eagle penalty shot, but let's see. Karis Kale looks confused. And it looks like it's setting up for an Eagle penalty shot. So Karis Kale is going to get a penalty shot with 9:20 to go in the first half. Eagles leading 5-3. Kale will have it. Walks in. She'll rip a shot and she'll score! Karis Kale on the penalty shot. Ripped it by the stick of Amador. And the Eagles, instead of driving the goal, just take the shot and rip it from a solid 10 yards out. And the Eagles take a 6-3 lead on Karis Kale's 6th goal of the season. And the Eagles, 4 consecutive goals in a 5-minute span, 2 on penalty shots, now have a 6-3 lead in a very important game if the Eagles want to figure out a way to qualify for the CACC playoffs again. 0-10 last season, but so far this year the Eagles 2-6. Small steps, bits of improvement as a team continues to grow. Heb tries to win the faceoff, but good job by the Eagles to rush to the ball, and a nice pickup there by Karis Kale, the goal scorer. Kale with the ball, feeds it up ahead. Running down on left wing is Patfield. Patfield tried to find a lane, but good defense there by number 7, Otero, though there is a whistle blown as well. There might be another penalty shot, depending on where that location is. And I think it's going to be another penalty shot for the Eagles. It is. 3 consecutive penalty shots. Here's Patfield's opportunity. No penalty shot. So they lined up for the penalty shot. Referee then blew the whistle, changed the play. They just reset the shot clock with 8:30 to go in the first half. 6-3 Eagles. No penalty shot. Petfield swings it over on the right side. Gives it back to Heb. Heb looking for a lane. Ran in. Backed up. As Eagles start their motion. Piper goes behind the goal, but a nice chop check by Deal. Ball bouncing on the ground. It might be a penalty on Chestnut Hill, as the Eagle offensive player was hit on the head. Officials timeout with 7:52 to go in the first half. 6-3 Eagles. Can't see the number from here. It looks like Jasmine Valentin. So no penalty, just a foul. Eagles will retain possession. Valentin appears to be okay. Waiting for the official to blow the whistle to start play. And Valentin being subbed out for Tully. So Eagle ball behind the goal. They'll start with it behind the goal. Coming out in front with it, trying to take a shot. But unable to get control, then turned it over was Karis Kale. And now here's Chestnut Hill. Chestnut Hill hasn't seemed to have possession in the last few minutes. Finally has it now. Here's Westervelt. Westervelt spins with it. Has a stick on the right side. Gives it down low to Geary. Geary behind the goal. Swings it back into the middle of the field. That is Deal. Deal trying to get it to Martin. Ball rolling towards the goal. Picked up and then stolen away by 17 Westervelt. Westervelt gives it back to Deal. Deal swings it to Gayton. Gayton swings it on the right side. Shot toward the goal over the head of goaltender Johnson. And Chestnut Hill scores at 7 minutes to go in the first half, and it's 6-4. Nice shot by Gayton. She shot it right at the head of Johnson and went just over her head and into the top part of the goal. And with 7 minutes to go, Gayton gets goal number 17 on the season. And it's 6-4 now, Eagles, as Chestnut Hill gets their first goal of the second quarter. Eagles already do more goals today than they had all of last week against Wilmington. And one off what they scored against Bridgeport. Ball popped up in the air. Chestnut Hill trying to control. They do control. That's Westervelt at midfield, being watched by Hebb. Westervelt continues forward. Hebb doing a good job defensively. Stops Westervelt about 40 yards out from the goal. She'll instead go back towards her defense. Pass bobbled but controlled. Eagles swing to the face. That's probably going to be a penalty, as Peyton Tully sort of swung at the Chestnut Hill defender's face. That would have been number 6, Maddie Brazukas. And a penalty on the board to Peyton Tully. Looks like that's going to be 2 minutes for Tully. And Eagles shorthanded again. 4 for 4 on the penalty kill have been the Eagles in the game so far. 6:36 remaining in the first half. 6-4 Eagles. Thank you for joining us wherever you are on the Post University Sports Network, the family on campus, in state, around the country, around the world. We know you're watching somewhere. We thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon, senior day, with us for Post University Women's Lacrosse. Miller behind the goal to Washington Vasquez. Centers it in front for a shot that's stopped by Johnson. She got a stick on it. Ball popped high up in the air. 60 seconds remain on the shot clock. 90 seconds remain on the power play. Here's Miller. Miller gives it down to Deal. Deal gets a return feed in front. She shot and he hit the post. Somehow Deal hit the post. She was wide open about 3 yards out, hit the post, break for the Eagles, and now they gain control with 80 seconds on their shot clock, minute 16 on the penalty kill. Eagles trying to get it over the line. They do. It's Garam. Garam keeps going, stops, spins away, looks to find somebody. Garam just trying to stay in bounds. She continues staying in bounds, has the stick chopped. Eagles trying to pick it up. Eagles do. Good job. Nice pass in front to Patfield. Patfield looks for a shot, instead just shoots it behind the goal. Eagles will be there first, so it should be Eagle ball. And it is Eagle ball with 45 on a shorthanded, 5:25 in the first half. Eagles trying to score a shorthanded goal. Takes a shot and scores! What a play by Claire Green, who just sort of stopped, faked like she was going in the middle, instead just shot it into the goal, and the Eagles take a 7-4 lead on a shorthanded goal and the hat trick for Claire Green, number 27 on the season. And the Eagles have 2 penalty shot goals and a shorthanded goal in this quarter, 5 goals total in the quarter, and now lead 7-4 with 5:18 remaining in the first half and 42 seconds remaining on the shorthanded time that the Eagles have. 7-4. They've matched the amount of goals they scored against Bridgeport. They've scored more than they have against Wilmington. And for the 5th time this season, they have gotten to the 7-goal barrier. Face off in the middle. Eagles still shorthanded for another 42 seconds, but they're 4 for 4 on the penalty kill, and now they have a goal to show for it. So +1 are the Eagles on the penalty kill today. Looking to go 5 for 5, and the Eagles take control of the ball with 35 remaining, but then they turn it over right in the middle of the field, and now Chestnut Hill will have the ball. It's Miller. Miller escapes the first defender, feeds it down up over here on the right side to O'Donnell, who opened the scoring for Chestnut Hill today. O'Donnell gives it down to Geary. Geary goes behind her goal, swings it to Washington Vasquez, who tried to feed in front, but a good stick there by number 7 of the Eagles. That's Kale, and they turn it over, and the Eagles now have the ball. 5 seconds remaining on the 2-minute penalty. The Eagles about to go 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. Long pass over the stick of the defender, and a nice catch there by Green. Green, with time and space, has a break toward the goal, but she slows up, has a player ahead. It's Noonan. Noonan closing in on left wing, shoots it toward the goal and hit the side of the net. Good offensive breakout. Eagles 5 for 5 on the penalty kill, +1 with the shorthanded goal. Have the ball on a 3-goal lead. Patfield closes in, looks to the middle of the goal, but taken by Amador as the centering pass was looking for Heb, and Chestnut Hill goaltender has the ball, trailing by 3, 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Chestnut Hill, gets to the middle of the field, looking for a pass on the right wing. They get it up to Westervelt. Westervelt being watched all the way down the field by Kale. Gives to Geary. Geary centers it in front to a streaking player in front, and they score. Beautiful centering pass. That went to Kendall Gayton for her second goal of the quarter, her 8th of the season, and it's 7-5 now, and a beautiful play there. Set up by Geary, and this is a 7-5 lacrosse game here at Lemoy Field. 3:49 to go in the first half. 7-5 Eagles. Heb and Westervelt on the faceoff right in the middle of the field. On the purple and orange Eagle. It's been a good one so far. Eagles 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. Have 2 penalty shot goals. And Chestnut Hill 0 for 2 on penalty shots. Nice clean win by Heb off that faceoff, and the Eagles get possession. Heb streaking towards the goal, gets around Miller to the defender. Heb going towards the goal, takes the shot on, stopped by Amador. Chestnut Hill will get the ball. Now they have possession. It's Miller. Miller, long pass ahead, but a good stick work there by the Eagles, and they get control again. And it's Peyton Tully who's got a hat trick in the game. Tully swings it over on the right side to Piper. Piper closes in, 90-second shot clock, has 80 seconds remaining, 3:20 in the half. Eagles lead 7-5. Piper has the ball, goes to the middle, has a lane, but instead slows up. Looks to go back towards Noonan, does give it to Noonan. Noonan now looking for a lane as 2 defenders converge. Noonan trying to spin away, ball pops up in the air, but there's going to be a foul on Chestnut Hill. Shot clock reset, but the Eagles maintain possession. Long shot taken, stopped by Amador. It deflected off the stick and the shoulder, but the ball on the field, and the Eagles take possession of it. Eagles have the possession, and taken down is Piper right in the middle of the field. Let's see if that's a penalty or a penalty shot. See what the call is here. Looks like a penalty shot. And Piper's going to get a delay of game call.
Penalty on number 17, Paige Piper. That's 1 minute.
So it looks like delay of game. And now Chestnut Hill has the ball. Breaking in on the right side is D'Angelo. So 2:20 to go in the first half, 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Now the Eagles 2 players down, back-to-back delay of game penalties. 50 seconds remain on the first one. Chestnut Hill has the ball. Deal on the right side, goes in the middle of the field, gets it to Guyton in front. O'Donnell with a fancy move, but shoots it over the net. Might have gotten deflected as well. Chestnut Hill retains possession 2 minutes to go in the first half, 30 on the first power play. Back to Gayton. Gayton swings it over here on the near side to Deal. Deal gives it back to Gayton. They play catch. In front with an opportunity, and they score in the middle of the field. There's a power play goal with 1:49 to go. In the first half, it's 7-6, a power play goal. And Westervelt gets her 7th of the season. And now 2 straight goals by Chestnut Hill has made this a 7-6 game. 19 seconds remaining on the delay of game penalty. Face off in the middle of the field. A power play goal, now 1 for 6, is Chestnut Hill. And the special teams are even, at least power play shorthanded. Eagles do have 2 penalty shot goals, while Chestnut Hill is 0 for 2. Eagles trying to win the faceoff, but good job by Gayton to win it. 10 seconds remaining on the power play, 1:40 to go in the first half. Gayton holds. Might have gotten something in her eye, had to stop and pass the ball. She did to Geary, trying to get whatever it is out of her eye. But Geary behind the net to Washington Vasquez. Swings it to Martin. Martin, their leading scorer, goes back to Gayton. Gayton, power play over, so teams are now all even on manpower. Chestnut Hill 1 for 7 on the power play. Washington Vasquez gets it in the middle of the field, 1:10 to go, 55 on the shot clock. Gayton gives it over here to Westervelt. Westervelt going toward the goal with 40 on the shot clock. Nice stick check defensively by the Eagles. Looks like that was Karis Kale. And the Eagles now have the ball. It's in the hands of goaltender Johnson. Long pass over here, trying to get it. Defensively was Gayton, but the Eagles have it. And long pass ahead to a breakaway. If she can pick up the ball, it's Valentin. Valentin picks it up, closes it in, breakaway, but stick checked away. There might be a penalty, and I believe there is, as Valentin had a breakaway, but good job by Chestnut Hill to get there defensively. And the Eagles will now have a penalty shot opportunity with 34.5 seconds to go in the first half, leading 7-6. And it's going to be Jasmine Valentin, the freshman out of Staten Island, New York. Left-handed. Eagles, Valentin shoots it toward the goal, and they missed their first penalty shot of the day. They're now 2 for 3 as Valentin, the lefty, tried to pick the corner and missed. Ball behind the goal. Eagles trying to pick it up as they force a turnover on number 7, Deanna Otero. Now 22.7 seconds left in the first half. Chestnut Hill will get the ball, though. Deal trying to get away from the defense. She spins away from 3 Eagles. 15 in the half. Deal has run solid 40 yards. Throws the ball up ahead. Might have turned it over, but instead it goes ahead to Gayton. Gayton with 8. Feeds it up on the left side to Washington Vasquez. Looking to center it in front with 4. Still holds, waits, 2 seconds. Gayton closes in. Time is going to run out, and that's the end of the first half here at Lemoy Field on the campus of Post University. The Eagles had a 7-4 lead, gave up 2 goals late, including a power play goal, but they retain a 7-6 lead after 1 half here at Lemoy Field on the campus of Post University. We'll come back after the intermission is over with the second half of play. Eagles lead at Chestnut Hill 7-6. Big game for the Eagles as they try to battle their way into the 6th seed in the CACC conference playoffs. You're listening and watching the Post University Women's Lacrosse on Senior Day on the Post University Sports Network and youtube.com/go Post Eagles. Start of the second half here at Molloy Field on the campus of Post University, where the Eagles have a 7-6 lead and a big game for them on Senior Day. Eagles looking to crawl their way up toward that 6th seed in the CACC Conference. The win today will help go a long way. They have hat tricks both by number 15 Peyton Tully and number 14 Claire Green, their two leading scorers, and have a 7-6 lead at the start of the second half. Jeff Nelson with you here up in the broadcast center. We thank you for joining us wherever you are. Eagles will go left to right as you look at your screen and dial. They're in the grays. Chestnut Hill, the Griffins, are in the red and yellow. We'll go right to left. Thank you to everybody who's helping make all of this happen, our engineers, crew, interns, camera people, and everyone who supports this as the ball goes off the official on a bad pass by the Eagles, who are trying to pick it up. Heb finally does. Spins away, gets checked, and there's going to be a foul. It was actually Green who spun away and was fouled early here in the third quarter. 1 minute penalty on Chestnut Hill, so the Eagles will go to the power play as a 1 minute penalty to Elizabeth Deal, the graduate student out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Eagles trying to control the ball in the middle of the field. They do to Garam. Garam has speed, using that speed, hockey player speed, as she closes on the left side, takes a shot toward the goal, and it just goes wide. That'll go out of play, and I believe Chestnut Hill will take control, as there were no Eagles back there. I actually think the Eagles might actually have the ball. Let's see who does have the ball. Can't see in that corner, so I don't know who has the ball. Looks like the Eagles do have the ball, so Eagles play it in. Behind the goal is Green. Green tries to find a player in front. It goes through the cutting Eagle player, and they retain possession. It's Piper. Piper closes it as the power play expires. 30 seconds remain on the shot clock. Foul on Piper. Doesn't look like there's any penalty with that, just a foul. And the Eagles turn it over. 5 seconds remaining on the power play. Eagles turn it over, and Chestnut Hill will play it at the goal line. Power play expires. Clock ticks. We move forward. Chestnut Hill, long pass into the middle of the Westervelt. Westervelt, surrounded by four Eagles, swings it over here to Brazukas. Brazukas cuts back to the middle of the field where all the Eagle defenders are. She gets stick checked but spins away. Three Eagles converge. Ball pops in the field, and the Eagles take over. Bad move by Brazukas. She cut right in the middle of the field where all the Eagles are, and then takes it away, though, from Riley Patfield. And then she gets checked down for trouble, and a penalty called on the Eagles' Patfield. 13-17 remaining in the third quarter. Eagles with a 7-6 lead will be shorthanded. Chestnut Hill 1 for 6 on the man advantage today. So a 2-minute penalty on Patfield and Chestnut Hill on the power play, trailing by 1.
Penalty on number 21, Riley Patfield, 2 minutes.
Ball squirts into the middle, picked up, swung over to the left side, shot toward the goal, and they score on the power play. That is number 13, Elizabeth Deal, who was wide open on the man advantage. They get the first goal of the second half. Power play is over. Back-to-back power play goals. This one from 13, Elizabeth Deal, her 18th of the season. And the Eagles and Griffins tied at 7.
Goal, Chestnut Hill by number 13, Elizabeth Deal.
So face off at center. 13:02 to go in the third quarter. Face-off win. Ball popped up in the air. Eagles trying to control it on the ground. They get control of it, and here's Green. Green right up the middle of the field. Has the ball, swings away, gets hit in the head. That's going to be a penalty on Chestnut Hill. That'll even everything up. as Green slop checked in ahead. That's on 13, Elizabeth Deal, the goal scorer. 2 minutes for illegal contact, more of a swing to the head and face. That's why they wear those eye masks. But Eagle ball. Swings it down toward the goal, goes off the stick, rolls behind the goal. Eagles will get their first player taken down. Should be Eagle ball with 80 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And actually, they'll say Chestnut Hill has the ball. Long pass in the middle of the field played by Gayton. Gayton being double stick checked by Heb. Heb trying to get the ball away. Spun away, though, nicely. And into the middle of the field is Westervelt. Westervelt in the middle, closes in, holds and waits. Gives it to Samantha Martin, who only has 1 goal in the game so far. Gayton to Martin. 60 on the shot clock. 90-second shot clock in women's lacrosse. Westervelt swings it to the far side over to Geary. Geary will go behind the goal. Geary comes over here, gives it to Gayton. Gayton looking for a hole in the middle, instead goes back to Martin. Martin gets a pick, rolls to the right, faked her shot, tried to get it in the middle of the field. Taken by the Eagles goaltender in her crease, and a turnover by Chestnut Hill. 26 seconds remaining on the Eagle penalty, 52 on the Chestnut Hill penalty. Long pass in the middle of the field, bounces off the stick. Eagles trying to get there first. They try to pick it up. It's slapped out of bounds. Eagles should not gain control, and here comes Chestnut Hill. Chestnut Hill with some speed in the middle of the field, gives it to O'Donnell, veers to the right. Gives it down low, pass ahead to George, who has a goal in the game. She's got it behind the net. George from far side to near side, gives it over here to Westervelt. Westervelt finds a crease in the middle, takes a shot toward the goal, and she scores. Westervelt found a hole, short-handed goal, and on the board again is Chestnut Hill. 2 goals here in the second half, and they take an 8-3 lead. The 8-7 lead, excuse me. The 8th goal of the season for Westervelt, short-handed. And now it's 8-7 Chestnut Hill. The ebbs and flows of lacrosse. 4 straight goals for Chestnut Hill after the Eagles scored 4 straight goals in the second quarter. But Chestnut Hill has an 8-7 lead with 11:11 to go in the third quarter. Heb trying to get it off the faceoff. She does a good job to get it. Spins away from 2 defenders and makes a nice pass up ahead. And here come the Eagles. Here's Alyssa Heb with speed. Fakes to the right, goes to the left, fakes to the right again, closes in, hits the post. And both players go down. Looks like it'll be Chestnut Hill ball after Heb hit the post. The outside of the post, which is what caused it to go out of bounds. Chestnut Hill runs straight out of bounds, trying to pick up the ball on the sideline. They're going to move the Chestnut Hill player back. Shot clock resets. Miller has it. Long pass in the middle of the field finds Gayton. Gayton swings it far up on left wing. Off the stick of Otero, who picks it back up on her own and gets between 2 defenders. Otero on the offensive side of the field, gives to George, goes back to Westervelt, who's got 2 of the last 3 goals. Westervelt, right-hand stick holder, swings it to Miller. Miller in the middle of the field, goes on the far right side, finds Gayton, who gives it down to Gary. He goes behind the net to George. George here for Martin. Looking for Gayton, middle of the field, swings it over to Miller on the right side, 50 seconds on the shot clock. Miller goes down to George, goes behind the net to Geary. Geary comes over here for Martin as they just pass it around the outside, looking for somebody to streak to the middle. Gayton had the ball roll off her stick, swings it over to Miller. Miller now closing in with 40 seconds on the shot clock. Tried to swing it toward the net, instead goes behind, leaves it for Geary. Geary looks to find O'Donnell in front. She takes the shot and she scores! It's Carly O'Donnell's goal as they finally set it up with 30 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and with 9:17 to go, 5 straight goals by Chestnut Hill. And O'Donnell's second of the game, 6th of the season. Even strength. And it looks like the Eagles are going to call timeout, giving up 3 quick goals here to start the third quarter, 5 in a row. They've gone from a 7-4 lead to a 9-7 deficit. We'll come back in 1 minute off the timeout. 9-7 Chestnut Hill. You're listening and watching the Post University Women's Lacrosse on the Post University Sports Network. Nine, 7 Chestnut Hill off the timeout. Face off in the middle of the field. Chestnut Hill scoring 5 straight goals from the end of the second quarter through the third so far, but plenty of time left. Eagles trailing by 2, 9-7. Last goal again, the Carly O'Donnell, the freshman out of Levittown, Pennsylvania. Her second of the game, 6th of the season, to give the 9-7 lead. So face off in the middle of the field. Heb and Westervelt. Ball swung in the air, but taken by the long stick of Martin. And here comes Chestnut Hill again, leading by 2. Geary has it on the right side. Eagles playing a little more aggressive defensively. Ball swung to Westervelt. Has Miller in the middle of the field. That's who she gives it to. Miller comes all the way over here to Martin. Excuse me, that's Gayton. Back to Miller. Has it on the right side. She'll go to Martin, who's on the far right side of the field for the first time today. Now she'll come to the middle. Left-handed stick gives to Gayton. Gayton avoids one defender, swings to the middle on the second defender. Eagles not chopping at it. And now Miller. Miller runs toward the middle, spins away to the right side, keeps going, goes behind the goal to George. George comes out with it. George looking to spin back. George tries to spin behind her. If she did, she would have had an opening, but instead gave it up to Westervelt. Westervelt with 40 on the shot clock takes a shot toward the net, deflects off the goal of Johnson and out of play for Chestnut Hill. Well, they're going to say it's actually Eagle ball. Nope, Chestnut Hill ball. Confusion behind the goal. 55 on the shot clock as it reset. And a nice steal there by the Eagles, and out they come as a big steal there. And here come the Eagles up to midfield. She continues forward. She's in over the line, keeps moving. Still going. Finally sends it up the middle, past the stick of hard to see the number. That's why we're delaying. It's Paige Piper who gets control of it nicely. Here's Piper. Gets slashed at once, gets slashed at twice. And it looks like that's a Chestnut Hill penalty on number 6, Maddie Brazukas. And the Eagles will have a power play. Let's see if it's 1 minute or 2 minutes. $7:15 to go in the third quarter. Waiting for the penalty to be popped up on the scoreboard. I believe that's just going to be 1 minute. There it is. 1 minute penalty on Brazukas. Eagles on the power play, trailing by 2. Need a goal here. Get themselves right back in this game, down by 2. Eagles looking to center it in front. They do with a nice play, but Green, instead of taking the shot, goes behind the net. Green then tries to recenter in front, looking for the stick of Kale. Eagles trying to get to the ball. Kale has it slapped off her stick. Kale finds Green. Green regains control, avoids the defender. Green now coming from the far side into the middle. It has a shot toward the goal, but shoots it wide. Eagles will retain possession behind the net with 30 on the power play. Green, who has a hat trick in the game, goes toward the net. Player rolling towards the middle of the field. That is D'Angelo. Ball now bouncing. Eagles trying to pick it up. Valentin pops it up in the air. Eagles chase after it before it goes out of bounds. Valentin picks it up with 10 on the power play. Valentin behind the goal to Green. Green gives to Tully. Tully looking for an opening. Tully comes out. Power play over. Tully squeezes it over here on the left side to D'Angelo. D'Angelo closes in with a shot toward the goal, and she scores! She bounced it in. It bounced in front of the goaltender and into the top of the net with 6:08 to go in the third quarter. The Eagles do get one back after the power play expires. It's 9-8, and it's D'Angelo's first of the game. First goal of the second half for the Eagles. D'Angelo's 7th of the season. With 6:08 to go in the third quarter, it's now 9-8. Big goal by the Eagles, keeping this a one-goal game. Ultimately, a one-possession game. And now a face-off back at midfield, 9-8 Chestnut Hill. But the Eagles have broken the 5 straight goals by Chestnut Hill to get one of their own. It's been a very streaky game. Eagles opened with 2. Chestnut Hill scored 3. Eagles scored 4. Chestnut Hill has just scored 5 in a row. And now the Eagles get one here. And now we're going to try to tie. Popped up in the air. Eagles looking for that long stick and control, and they gain control. Nicely done by Alyssa Hebb. Green took the face-off. Hebb has the ball. Hebb on the left side. Closes to the middle. Waits. Tries to get around the defender. She makes a move left-handed. Goes toward the goal. Shoots and scores! Tie game 9-9. Alyssa Hebb with a beautiful move. The graduate student out of Waterbury, Connecticut. 8:16 seconds after the last goal scored by the Eagles. They get 2 in 16, and the Eagles have tied this game at 9. Beautiful job, 1-on-1 for her 8th goal of the season. And the Eagles have tied this at 9. Nicely done by the Eagles. Only the 3rd time all season the Eagles have scored 9 goals in their games so far. So 2 quick goals make this a 9-9 game. As we said, streaky game. As the Eagles scored 2 in a row. Face-off again, pops high in the air. Eagles trying to control it. Bouncing at midfield, goes off the stick of Green, and the Eagles control. Kale, stick check by 4 Griffins. Does a good job kicking the ball ahead with her foot, then takes down the Chestnut Hill player. That should just be a foul. But I think they're going to call a minute penalty. Should have just been a foul call, but they're going to call a penalty. That'll send Kale off 1 minute for illegal contact. So Eagles shorthanded, 9-9 the score. Whistle blows, 5:32 to go in the third quarter, 9-9. Deal. Gets to midfield, throws a bad pass, picked up, though, by Otero. Otero, stick check by the aggressive play above the Eagles. That looks like number 13, D'Angelo, who just scored. She does a good job to pick it up in the far corner. Eagles now have the ball shorthanded right in the middle of the field with a nice pass. And now the Eagles have control. That is Amundsen in the middle of the field. Swings it up on the right side, trying to get to midfield. Amundsen just dumps it out of bounds, turns it over. 25 remaining on the man advantage. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 9-9. Bad pass again in the middle of the field. Eagles trying to pick it up, but a good job by Chestnut Hill to get it. Instead, it's Gayton. Gayton swings it to Geary. Geary tries to look in the middle of the field. Instead, she goes behind the goal to George. George gives it in the middle of the field to Martin. Martin spins. Power play over. Back on is Kale. Swings it over on the right side. Geary goes behind the goal. Swings it to George. George looks for Martin. Teams at full strength. Instead, she throws it in the middle to Gayton. Gayton closed in, swung it to the right side. 50 on the shot clock. As Geary gives to George. George now uses her size, gets in the middle of the field, gives to Gayton. Gayton swings it over to Deal. Deal closes in, fakes the shot, goes behind the goal to George. George swings it to Deal. Deal tries to come in on the right side. She'll go behind the goal, swing out to the near side. Look to center it in front. She did, but it bounced away from her intended target. That was Westerveld. Eagles trying to pick up the ball. It's in the crease area. Somebody's trying to find it, and finally the Eagles get it. Nice play by the Eagles' Johnson to get it up on the right side to Garam. Garan gives it in the middle of the field. Swings away is Amundsen. Amundsen still with the ball right in the middle of the field. Swings away from 3 Chestnut Hill attackers. Still going. Has run all the way across the field. Finally got it on the stick of 17 Piper. Turnover, though, and Chestnut Hill will retain possession. Looks like another 1-minute penalty against the Eagles. And I think that's going to be Amundsen. 3:15 to go in the third quarter. 9-9 here at Lemoy Field.
Penalty on number 6.
Pass to O'Donnell, who's got 2 goals. Bounces off her stick, pops up in the air, picked up by Geary. Geary gets it behind the goal, swings it out in front to O'Donnell. O'Donnell holds and waits. Gives it over to Westervelt. Westervelt holding. Being stick checked nicely. Nicely right off the stick and a good steal. Eagles pick it up and they do. That was a beautiful play there. She took it right out of Westervelt's hands, stole it away, and now here's Karis Kale. She gets fouled. Good job by Karis Kale. Chopped it out of the stick of Westervelt, stole it, and then drew a foul of her own. That was on Westervelt, so the Eagles even up on manpower for the next 20 seconds, and then the Eagles will have a power play of 40 with 2:35 remaining in the third quarter in a 9-9 Lacrosse game. Whistle blows. Garam has it. Garam gets over midfield, has 2 defenders, and a nice pass over to number 16, Heb. Heb has the ball, closes in, gets to about the 20-yard marker, holds and waits. Eagles now have a power play as Heb swings it over on the left side. Here's Piper. Piper gives it to Tully, who had 3 early goals in this game, a hat trick of her own today. Tully fakes the pass, controls the ball. 25 seconds go in the middle of the field with a quick shot and a stop right on by the goaltender, Amador. Eagles retain possession, fakes a shot, closes in, holds and waits as Heb swings it over to Piper. Piper waits. Nice little chip pass here in front of the shot, stopped by Amador again as Kale took a shot, and Amador's made 2 saves on this series. And now trying to get it out of their area is Gayton. Power play is over for the Eagles. 90 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Nice movement by Gayton to avoid getting checked. And up on left wing comes Westervelt. Westervelt trying to feed it ahead with her tall stick. Instead holds on to the ball with under 90 seconds to go and 65 on the shot clock. 9-9 here late in the third quarter. Washington Vasquez swings it behind the goal. Gets the ball back. Washington Vasquez 5 feet out of Philadelphia. Freshman. Westervelt goes behind the goal. Washington Vasquez feeds to Geary. Geary gives it back to Washington Vasquez. Swings it up on the right side. 35 on the So a whistle blow with 50.4 seconds to go and 35 on the shot clock. Nine with 50.4 seconds to go. So Chestnut Hill ball, 45 to go in the period, 32 to go on the shot clock. Swung around all the way to the right side to Deal. Deal holds and waits, goes behind the goal, gives to Geary. Geary looking to center. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Gives to Gayton. Gayton closes in, finds a hole, takes a shot, but it bobbles it, regains control. Post apoplectic as they think it should be a turnover. 9 seconds remaining toward the net, push in front, and a foul in the middle of the field on 17 Westervelt. She got taken down. I think that's a penalty shot. With 18.8 to go in the third quarter. Let's see officially what it is. Looks like a penalty shot. Westervelt will have it. Whistle blows. Westervelt closes in, takes a shot, and she scores. It does go in. Westervelt, several steps, almost got it checked out of her hands, but she did score a penalty shot goal, their first of the game. She now with a hat trick with 15.3 seconds to go in the third quarter, her 9th of the year on the penalty shot. And Chestnut Hill with a 4-goal third quarter takes a 10-9 lead.
Goal, Chestnut Hill, scored by number 17, Bryce Westervelt.
Face off at midfield. Ball squirts up in the air. Racing after it is Karis Kale. Let's see if she gets a nice back pass to Green. Green trying to pick it up. Can't control it. 6.2 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ball picked up. Clock ticking down. Quarter will end now. And that's the end of 3 quarters here at Lemoy Field on the campus of Post University. A 4-goal third period for Chestnut Hill. Only 2 by the Eagles. So Chestnut Hill will go into the fourth quarter with a 10-9 lead. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening and watching the Post University Women's Lacrosse on the Post University Sports Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. Start of the fourth quarter here at Lemoy Field on the campus of Post University, where the Eagles trail Chestnut Hill. The Griffins 10-9. 4-goal third quarter for Chestnut Hill. Teams will switch sides. The Eagles will go right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Chestnut Hill in the red and yellow will go left to right. Eagles in the gray going right to left. Jeff Nelson with you. Senior day for the 10 seniors on the Post University women's lacrosse team, trying to squeeze their way into the 6th seed in the CACC conference, which will get them a playoff berth if they can. Still games remaining. The Eagles will play at Dominican on Tuesday, followed by their season finale against Jefferson here at Lemoy Field next week. All games on either the CACC network or the Post University network. Attempted steal and an aggressive steal attempt by D'Angelo, but just a common foul, and Deal will control. Deal goes behind the net, look for the short side shot, instead goes behind the net with it. Geary swings to Gayton. Gayton controls, 75 on the shot clock, tries to close in, but good defense by Heb. Sticks it into the corner to Washington Vasquez. Deal gives to Geary. She switches places with Washington Vasquez, gives back to Deal. Deal comes all the way in the middle to Gayton. Gayton has it and holds, swings it over on the right-hand side, gives to Westervelt. Back to Washington Vasquez. Swings it behind the net to Geary. Geary tries to give it in front with 50. Washington Vasquez to Westervelt. Westervelt has 3 goals. Swings it over on the right side. Here's Gayton closing in. Had it bounce off her stick. She couldn't take it, and instead the shot goes wide. Flag goes up, so I believe a penalty is being called against the Eagles. No penalty, just control. 30 seconds remain on the shot clock. Gayton tries to get around Hebb, spins it behind the goal to Washington. Vasquez has trouble controlling it, cycles it back behind the net, takes a return feed. Washington Vasquez with 15 on the shot clock. Gives to Gayton. Gayton gives it in the middle of the Deal. Deal can't control it. Rolls off her stick. Trying to gain control with 10. Deal still can't control it. Finally gets it on her stick. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Sends it toward the net. Spins with the backhand shot toward the goal. Stopped by Johnson as Martin took the shot. Johnson made the save. Solid defense by the Eagles. They played it for 85 seconds. Forced a challenging shot. Now a long pass ahead to D'Angelo. D'Angelo, long pass in the middle of the field, nicely caught by Patfield, who bobbled it, regained control, spins away from the check into the middle of the field, and with a nice pass ahead up on the middle for Hebb. Hebb closed in, backed away, as Otero got into the defensive position. Now the Eagles have the ball with 60 seconds to go on the shot clock. Hebb swings it to Noonan, who kicks it over on the right side to Piper. Whistle blow. So confusion all the way around. Seems like an Eagle turnover. But the coaches seem confused. The players seem confused. Even the Chestnut Hill players seem confused. So needless to say, not me. So Valentin in the box, but I don't think the penalty is on her.
Penalty on number 4, Jasmine Valentin. 2 minutes.
Everybody seems a little confused. Either way, Chestnut Hill had the ball, nearly turned it over. Now the ball is rolling in the Eagle logo. Somebody tries to pick it up, and it's finally picked up by Green, who then fumbles it away again, and finally Deal picks it up. Deal, nice pass over here on the right side, taken by Westervelt. Chestnut Hill leads by 1. Chopped towards her head. That's going to be a penalty. 1 minute on Noonan. Now the Eagles down 2 players.
Penalty on number 5, Maddie Noonan. 1 minute.
Westervelt closes in. Eagles short 2 players. Down into the corner. Shot toward the goal. And a beautiful stop by Johnson, who made a big stop there. Keeps this a 1-score game. She can hold it for a while, clear out the Eagle players. Passes it over on the right side. Nicely picked up. Forced ahead with the stick as the Eagles try to get over the center line, and they do. Good job by the Eagles ahead. Comes over here to Amundsen. Amundsen struggling to pick it up, finally does. Comes over here, Amundsen. Quick pass to Green. Green cycles away from 2 defenders. Eagles 2 players down for at least another 50 seconds. Here's Green, had a stick check from behind, ball bouncing on the turf. Somebody's trying to pick it up. Eagles might, and they do. Good job by Piper to pick it up, and the Eagles have control. 11:18 to go in the fourth quarter. Eagles trail by 1. Here's Heb. Heb spins away from 1. Swings toward the goal. 1 player out for the Eagles. That's Karis Kale. Eagles turn it over, though, with 25 remaining on the power play. And out comes Chestnut Hill trying to break forward, still on the power play for another 17. Comes into the middle of the field. Nice job by Heb just to hold her ground. Martin still controlling, goes through 2 more, finally feeds the ball up ahead to Washington Vasquez. She'll go behind the goal, look to feed it out in front. Good stick there by the Eagles. Now somebody tries to pick it up as it bounces around. Eagles back to full strength as out comes Valentin. But Chestnut Hill has the ball. 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, and they lead by 1. No goals so far here in the fourth quarter. We're 5 minutes in. Ball swung to the right side. Feeds over to Geary. Geary looks to go behind the goal. She does to Washington Vasquez. Geary gets it. They switch places. Comes out to the left side. That's Martin. Martin fakes. Comes into the middle. Looks to take her shot. She closes in with a shot toward the goal, and she scores. That's Martin, her second of the game. Their leading goal scorer. Her 26th of the season. And Chestnut Hill regains the 2-goal lead. It is now 11-9.
Goal, Chestnut Hill, scored by number 23, Samantha Martin. Her second of the match and her 26th of the season.
So 10 minutes, 1 second remaining in the fourth quarter. Eagles now trail by 2 again. Only 1 goal scored in the fourth quarter. That was just now by the leading goal scorer, Samantha Martin, for Chestnut Hill. Eagles need to figure out a way to get this win. And they're going to give the ball to Chestnut Hill. Westervelt, 2-goal lead in the ball. Feeds it down on the right side to Geary. Geary looks in the middle of the field, finds a player quickly, but the ball bounces in the middle. Eagles trying to gain possession. Good body block there by Kale, and the Eagles come up with the ball. It's Garam. Garam with the ball. Long pass up here on the left side. Player taken out. That was Green. Eagles should have possession. And 21 is going to get a minute. That's Allie Kamolda, freshman out of Hayden Township. So Eagle ball, power play, 9:25 to go in the fourth. Green, long pass, bounces off the stick of Kale, but she regains possession. Kale, middle of the field, goes across, gives it to Tully. Tully. 3 early goals, but hasn't had one since the first quarter. Spins it in front. Eagles trying to find a lane. Green shoots and scores! Claire Green, goal number 4 on the day, and the Eagles get back to within 1 again. They've stayed within striking distance all day. After having the lead, they cut it to 1, 11-10. 9:03, fourth of the game, 28th of the season on the power play for Claire Green, the senior out of Storrs, Connecticut, and the Eagles cut it to 1 again, 11-10. Face-off between Green and Westerville, a senior against a freshman. Wind picking up a little. It's been a decent day. The clouds are beginning to roll in. It's expected to be colder later, but mid-50s today. Wind now blowing left to right, which is expected west to east as you look at your screen and dial. Chestnut Hill in the red and yellow going left to right. Eagles in the gray going right to left. 11-10 Chestnut Hill. Big game for the Eagles if they want to get a chance at that 6th seed in the CACC playoffs, which is a long way from last year's 0-10 season. Ball comes free to Westerville. 8:35 to go in the fourth. 10 seconds remaining on being shorthanded is Chestnut Hill. 55 on the shot clock. Geary Closes in, tries to find a hole. Does a nice job to make a move, but then turned it over, and the Eagles come up with it. Although difficult play by the Eagles. They were trying to get the ball. Eagles picking it up before it goes out of bounds, and it does go out of bounds. It's Chestnut Hill's ball. Picked up and instantly brought back the other way is Brazukas. Brazukas kicks it over on the right side to Geary. Geary with a fresh 90-second clock. Goes behind the net, 8 minutes to go in regulation time, 11-10. Chestnut Hill. Westervelt struggles with control but regains it out at about the 30 yards away from the goal. Now she makes a move towards the goal, takes a shot. It is stopped by Johnson on the goal line. Nice save by Johnson, who now has to pick it up without putting it into the goal. And she does a good job to do that. So Johnson with the ball. Eagles play defense, make a save, and get possession. Long pass up on the middle of the field, trying to pick it up is Green. It's bouncing. Eagles can't get control, and Chestnut Hill now will have it. Opportunity lost for the Eagles as Westervelt has it. Watched by Noonan. Westervelt pass in the middle of the field to Gayton. Gayton swings it down low, has an opportunity. O'Donnell shot right into the netting of Johnson. Huge save, and the Eagles play defense again. Eagles now trying to get control, turn it over again after a save as it goes off of Tully's stick and back into the stick of Westervelt. 2 straight turnovers by the Eagles after making stops is Johnson. Westervelt with a fresh shot clock of 75 seconds now. Coming in the middle, looking for it. Nice stick check away. Ball bouncing in the middle. O'Donnell can't pick it up. Now she does. O'Donnell spindles it back with 60. Geary comes over here for Westervelt, who tries to go around Noonan. Good defense by Noonan. Kicks it over on the right side to Deal. Goes behind the Washington Vasquez. Washington Vasquez goes behind the goal. Geary tries to come out. Good defense again by the Eagles. Right in the middle of the field, coming in with a shot, and a goal is number 23, Samantha Martin, her second of the period, third of the game. As we said earlier, she hadn't scored. She was the game's leading goal scorer. Now she's got 3. Number 27 for Samantha Martin, and it's a 2-goal lead again. 2 big saves by Johnson, with it being a 1-goal game, but 2 quick Eagle turnovers. And Chestnut Hill capitalized on the third opportunity, and now it's 12-10. But the Eagles have been clawing back. Every time they're down, they claw back. Down 2, need to find a way to get 1. No 2-point goals, just 1 at a time. So the Eagles need to figure out a way to get 1 back again. 6:06 to go in the fourth quarter, 12-10 Chestnut Hill. Swiped up in the air. Eagles try to get it. Looks like Kale will get it, and she does. So Karis Kale gives it over to Green. Green gets hit in the face, keeps going with the mask. Green looked to take the shot, swung it over, said to Tully. Tully closes it with a shot that goes wide, but the Eagles will retain possession. Green comes out the near side now, looks to spin away, has an opportunity, took a shot, but there's going to be a penalty on the Eagles. So turnover, Eagles again. Ball goes out of bounds. And another penalty on the Eagles. That's Tully. One-minute penalty on Tully. And Chestnut Hill has the ball, gives it up to Westervelt. Westervelt gets into the middle of the field. Pass over here to Deal. Big penalty kill for the Eagles and big defensive stand now, trailing by 2. Can't go down 3. That's going to be tough to come back from. Westervelt. Chestnut Hill's not going to go quickly with 5 minutes to go, up for 30 seconds, and has a 55 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Westervelt down low to Geary. Geary in front. Opportunity toward the goal. It bounces over the net as it tried for the bounce shot. Instead, it bounced completely over the net, but retained possession is Chestnut Hill. Gayton to Westervelt. Back to Gayton center. Swings it over to the left side to Martin, who's got 3. Behind the goal, Geary to Washington Vasquez. Washington Vasquez tries to come out in front with it. Said spindles it back, power play over. Martin with an opportunity, fakes her shot, 25 remaining. Gayton now has it in the middle of the field, swings to Westervelt. They're going to use all this shot clock, 15 seconds remaining. Here's Martin. Martin closes in, but there's going to be a penalty on the play against the Eagles. And the Eagles killed 62 seconds of defense and give up a penalty shot to Martin, the leading goal scorer for Chestnut Hill. She'll close in, take the shot, hit the post. Eagles now need to get control, and they do. Eagles gain control and throw it dangerously in the middle. It's bouncing. Eagles trying to get there. Chopped at by number 3, Ruby Mitchell. And another foul against the Eagles. Clock running, but now, again, Chestnut Hill more than comfortable letting that play clock run down. 3:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Chestnut Hill 12, Post 10. We'll come back after the timeout because there's one on the field. You're listening and watching the Post University Women's Lacrosse on the Post University Sports Network and the youtube.com/go Post Eagles. .335 to go in the fourth quarter. 12-10 Chestnut Hill. They have the ball. Eagles have managed to drag themselves back into the game every time Chestnut Hill gets up 2, but 82 seconds remain on the play clock. And they have a 2-goal lead and the ball. Jeff Nelson here with you at Lemoy Field on the campus of Post University for Senior Day for the women's lacrosse program. Ball is in play as it's swung around the top of the triangle right now, and Chestnut Hill perfectly content with throwing it around from Martin to Gayton to Westervelt. Eagles at some point do have to get aggressive defensively and go out and get that ball, or try to. This is kind of the one last defensive stand where you can box up as Geary goes behind the goal. Geary to Martin to Gayton. 40 seconds remaining. Gayton closes in, had a shot, didn't take it, instead kicks it behind the goal to Deal. 2:45 in regulation, 30 on the shot clock. Westervelt to Martin. Martin looking for a lane. Gives back to Gayton. Gayton fakes, goes right, fakes the shot, goes behind to Washington Vasquez. Washington Vasquez trying to find somebody in front. Gives to Deal. Deal with 10. Deal to Miller. Miller closes in, looks for a lane. Miller had it chopped off her stick and played by Johnson. The Eagles have a defensive stand. Now they have to hurry. Not a lot of time to kill here. Eagles need to get going. Offensively, trailed by 2, 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Here's Kale. Long pass, nicely onto the stick of D'Angelo. D'Angelo closes it on the right side. Spins away from the checking of Otero. Again, the Eagles do need to hurry. They trail by 2. Comes over here to Hebb. Hebb looks for a lane. She goes directly toward the goal. Has a lane. Takes the shot toward the net, and it's stopped by Amador. And then it's chopped off the stick while in the crease by Tully. Tully playing defense on Amador. She swings it over on the far corner. Again, now the Eagles have to be aggressive, trailing by 2. Good push attempt by Hebb. Tries to get her out of bounds. Throws a pass up ahead nicely to Gayton. Gayton being checked aggressively up on the right side by Piper. 60 seconds on the shot clock, 65 to go. Eagles do a good job to get the turnover, but taken right back by Westerveld. Eagles have to go get her as she swings it around. Eagles have to play man up and get chase every red person. Otherwise, they're just going to hold it behind the goal with 50. Westerveld more than happy to hold it. Gives it over to Deal. Deal swings it to Westerveld. Spins away from the check of head, but that's going to be a penalty as he took her down. Let's see if it's a common foul or a penalty. Just a common foul. That'll reset the shot clock, though, with Chestnut Hill leading by 2. Washington, that's Geary behind the net with 30. Geary kicks it to Gayton. Good chop check by the Eagles, who pick it up, trying to pick it up. It's bouncing off the stick. Rolls behind the goal. Washington Vasquez lets it go out of bounds with 19 seconds to go, and that should all but do it for the Eagles this afternoon. Not likely to get 2 goals in 10 seconds, though it has happened before. 5 seconds remaining. Shot to the head. Not intentional against Kendall Gayton. 3.9 to go. And Gayton struggling to get up. That's going to be a red card. With 3 seconds to go. 3.9 rather. As Devin Amundsen, the sophomore out of Medicine Hat, Alberta, received a red card. 3.9 to go. I think there's some blood there. Gayton still down. I think she did try to get up at one point, and they told her to get back down. Can't see if she's bleeding, though it would appear she might be. $3.9 to go. Really all over but the shouting at this point. As the Eagles about to fall to 2-7 on the season, 1-7 in conference. So the struggle of getting to the 6th seed all but over, because they are going to be 2 games behind Chestnut Hill, who moved to 7-6 overall, 3-5 in conference. And Eagles will be 2 games behind Chestnut Hill, and they will have lost the meeting here today. So that, unfortunately, will wrap up the opportunity at a playoff. But the Eagles play hard today, and again, have come a long way from 0-10 last season. Clock will start, time will tick, horn will buzz, and that's the end of the game here on Senior Day, as Chestnut Hill does a good job coming back, trailing at 1.7-4. They win 12-10 this